We're looking at Bitcoin still within that sideways mid to long-term bullish consolidation. We are seeing Bitcoin upticking today. We did get above 60,000. One of the things I want to show you today, guys, is this.
BitcoinZella stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now, guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to BitcoinZella today and enjoy the new edge. Let's join Gareth in this video about Bitcoin and more.
So we have a beautiful parallel channel, right? All aligning all these highs along here. And then what we could see is this low, just extending that parallel down. We did pierce it down here on the panic, but again, remember, that was when the stock market was down like 5-6% on the day, so it makes sense that crypto was flushing there as well. The point being is this is a parallel channel. Notice the midpoint. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a dotted line at the midpoint. Notice how that is what's keeping the market in check right here, okay, right along these lines. And so what you're looking for as a bull, so again, the mid to long term remains, as long as this channel remains sideways to lower channels like this, they eventually, probability-wise, and that's important, they eventually probability-wise break to the upside. All right, but the midpoint is kind of that pivot line we've been talking about. Price needs to get above that to have a shot, right? We have to get price above this level. It's right around that $61,000 level. If we can get above there and close and confirm, then you should easily head back to the high end of the channel. But notice again how price continues to stall right at the midpoint of the channel. Channels are amazing like this. When you find a good channel, you'll find that the midpoint of the channel actually works as a minor level of resistance like it is right here. It still goes through, it still goes up and down, but you will notice, like even right here, look at this, right? So if we go right here, look, the midpoint of the channel was right there, which pushed it back down to the low end here. Look right over here, right? So again, you can see how the midpoint does have some factors to it where you can use it as a shorter term minor resistance or support level. All right, so again, Bitcoin, it needs to get above this level to push to the high end. The longer term remains bullish. The shorter term, to be honest, as long as we're below this midpoint, it could come back down to this low here.
Despite closing below the $60,000 mark, Bitcoin's bullish indicators, including long-term holder confidence, minor accumulation, and a stablecoin supply surge, suggest that September could be anything but boring for BTC. Bitcoin closed below the 200-day EMA for the third time this year, but quickly rebounded above $60,000. Altius remained unfazed, continuing to accumulate with a $3 billion increase in the realized cap, suggesting long-term confidence in BTC's potential for a breakout. After a period of heavy selling, Bitcoin miners are showing signs of accumulation as their selling pressure decreased significantly in August. This trend could indicate a stabilization in BTC's price, providing a foundation for a potential rally in September. The stablecoin supply ratio, SSR, has dropped to February 2024 levels, signaling an increase in available liquidity for purchasing Bitcoin. With the total stablecoin market cap reaching a new all-time high of $165 billion, this surge in liquidity could trigger a significant upward movement in BTC's price. Bitcoin is attempting to break out of a descending broadening channel pattern, facing strong resistance at $61,700, where the 50-day and 100-day EMAs converge. If Bitcoin breaches this level and surpasses $62,737, it could trigger a change of character, signaling a bullish trend reversal heading into September.
Next up, let's take a look at gold, and then we'll look at silver. Gold continuing to push up today. After pausing yesterday, you had this upsloping trend line. We are now above this upsloping trend line, continuing to move up. Now, I'm going to show you guys something that I've been playing around with. We're going to go to a logarithmic chart of gold and go back a long way. So let's just jump into this here. I'm going to erase this trend line for the time being. And what we can do here is flip over to the log chart. And what we do is we'll flip to the monthly and we'll zoom out, right? So we're going to zoom all the way out here. And what we could see is if we put a trend line in here on this chart, we draw it from the high of 1979 to the high of 2011, and we extend that out, look at this. This is probably our next target level on the chart of gold. Okay, so again, assuming we continue up in the near term, this is where you have to start thinking there could be resistance. The level's around 2660. So again, we're only about $135 off that level at this point in time. But again, sometimes when you go back far distances with big moves in charts, and this is why logarithmic charts work well in crypto, is that you have these major upside moves, and the only way you can smooth out and draw trend lines and use technical analysis is if you flip over to the log chart. So I don't use the log charts very often on gold, to be honest, but in this situation, when I'm looking back to 1979, it makes sense to do so, and that puts us in this 2660 range. And obviously, it's subject to, slightly above, slightly below, but that's my next target on gold here in the near term. All right, next up, let's look at silver, see what silver's up to. Silver continues to go up. One of the things to note on silver here, I thought we would pull back off this level. We blew right through it. Awesome. I'm still long silver with Smart Money Commodities members. That's okay. So where are we likely going? And I think I told you guys yesterday, you take this high and this high, you connect a trend line down. You're looking at basically 30.5 would be your next target zone, right? Down sloping trend line. If we get through there, double top at 32. But right now, no pullback. It's strong, strong, strong. My only concern on silver is this, right? Is that right now, the stock market is in this narrative that everything is going to be fine. We're seeing it continue to go up. And I think that's influencing silver and causing silver to pop. That right now, no one's expecting a recession anymore. I mean, 2 weeks ago, everyone was like, oh my gosh, in a day, we're in a recession. Now it's no one's expecting it. My only fear is that where is silver going to be when that narrative starts to flip back to, oh my goodness, maybe we will have a recession? Because it will happen, folks. Again, whether it's later this year or next year, at some point it will happen. And the thing that I always point out is that if we don't have a recession, then think about this. How much is the Fed really going to cut rates? If they cut rates too much, inflation's going to roar back if we don't have a recession. So you have these scenarios where, okay, no recession, fine, let's go with that. But then the Fed's only going to cut once or twice and bring interest rates down a little bit. If we go into a recession, then yeah, they'll cut a lot more, but we're in a recession. So it's kind of like a double-edged negative sword here at this point based on valuations. And obviously with silver, we just have to monitor when that narrative changes, since silver, again, is at least 50% on industrial metal. Next up, let's take a look at, we looked at oil already, so let's flip over to natural gas. And natural gas, guys, had a beautiful move here above this trend line. But look, closed above, and we're getting rejected again. Remember, did it confirm? Nope, didn't confirm above. A close above doesn't equal confirmation if you've taken the winning trader series, right? So understand that real quick, that again, you have to confirm above, and we're getting rejected back below this level. This level's been an amazing level in terms of keeping and controlling price. Price keeps trying to break up, and it keeps getting rejected. Eventually, remember, the more we hit a level, the more likely eventually it breaks through. But let's see where it goes in the next few minutes.
Bitcoin has held above $58,000 amid poor market sentiment, but macro indicators suggest a major move could be on the horizon, possibly taking BTC back to its all-time high. Bitcoin's massive 196% gain from September 2023 to its peak at $73,800 required a significant consolidation period. Now, 24 weeks later, the market seems poised for the next leg of the bull run, with indicators suggesting the end of the boring sideways movement. On Tuesday, BTC broke out of its channel, briefly touching $61,000 before facing resistance. Whether it retests the $60,000 level or continues upward remains to be seen, but the sudden price movement has caught the market's attention. The stochastic RSI on the weekly chart shows that the fast indicator line, blue, turns upward and could soon cross the slow indicator line, orange. This crossover typically signals strong upward momentum, potentially driving BTC back to its all-time high. The 2-week chart also shows a similar stochastic RSI setup, with the lines poised for a crossover. If this occurs and the indicator breaks above the 20 level, the momentum could push BTC through key resistance levels at $61,000, $63,000, and ultimately $69,000, where previous highs were established. While it may be premature to predict, the alignment of these technical indicators suggests that if BTC breaks past these resistance levels, a new all-time high, and potentially $100,000 could be within reach. If you've been with us so far, a big thank you. Don't forget to subscribe for free to Bitcoin Zella for your daily news. The link is waiting below. That's all for today's crypto news. Stick around for more updates, insights, and analysis on cryptocurrencies. Share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and subscribe for more exciting content.